Chapter 1. Watching the sky, the four-strong security team shielded their eyes against the harsh sun over the Gulf of Aden. The noise grew as the silhouette of the Airbus helicopter came into view. Sand and grit stung their skin as the helicopter swung round the stern of the cargo ship before touching down gently on the helipad. Danny Pearson grabbed his rucksack and climbed out. He kept his head low as he moved away, giving a thumbs up to the pilot when he was clear of the rotor blades. The pilot gave a thumbs up and wound up the revs, lifting the helicopter gently off the deck before banking hard and heading back towards Asab Airport, Eritrea. Danny waited for the engine noise to die down before speaking to the men. "All right, guys, so what's so important it can't wait until he dock in Jeddah?" he said, stretching out the aches of a 5-hour journey. "Sorry, boss, we've got a bit of a situation," said Phil, looking around to make sure they weren't overheard. "Go on," Danny said, his interest piqued. "Last night after Matt's shift, we went to the armory to sign the weapons in and out for a shift change, as usual. I unlocked the door and found all the weapons gone. We only have the M16s and the handgun that Matt had with him, and 30 rounds of ammunition." "Keys?" Danny asked bluntly. 3 sets, one with me. Carl's got a set, and the captain has a spare set that should be locked in his safe," said Phil, showing Danny the key. "I assume there's more to this." "There's 3 boats a couple of miles behind us. We picked them up when we passed Berbera, and they've been closing ever since," said Matt, as all 5 of them instinctively looked off the stern of the boat. "Somali pirates, then, with help on board? Not their usual form. They wouldn't usually take the risk," said Danny, frowning. "You can thank the captain for that," said Craig, chipping in. "Go on then, let's hear it," said Danny, a bad feeling coming over him. "Captain Targan is a dickhead of the highest order. He also likes to drink and talk way too much. We docked in Mombasa while the ship unloaded a consignment of plant machinery for some mining company. While we're in port, we come across the captain in a local bar. The stupid bastard's pissed out of his nut. Next thing we know, he's shouting his mouth off about the £2 million the mining company has just paid him, in cash. Me and Matt tried to shut him up and ended up carrying him back to the ship," said Phil, as Matt nodded in agreement. "Jesus, I bet that went round port like wildfire. Did you take any new crew on at Mombasa?" asked Danny, spotting a nervous crewman watching them from behind some containers. "Yeah, one Kenyan lad." Kenyan or Somali," said Danny, moving to his left to take him out of the line of sight of the watching crewman. He put his finger to his lips before sprinting away from the puzzled team, disappearing down the far side of the containers. A few seconds later, they turned in unison at the sound of protests. Danny was pushing the distressed crewman towards them, twisting his arm up behind his back. Throwing him on the deck, the team stood around him while Danny started grilling him. "What did you do with the guns?" "Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about," he said nervously, shaking his head. "Phil, shoot him and throw him over the side," said Danny, his voice gruff and face emotionless. Understanding Danny's intentions, Phil drew his handgun and pulled the slide chamber around. Without hesitation, he placed the barrel on the terrified man's forehead. No, wait, I'm sorry, they made me." "Cut the crap and answer the question. Where's the guns?" shouted Danny, inches away from his face. "They're gone, over the side," he said, shaking. "You're Somali, yes?" He nodded slowly. "How many are coming?" 12, 4 in each boat." "What weapons have they got?" said Danny, grabbing the scared man's shirt. 5. I think they have 5 machine guns. The rest are machetes. Carl, take him down and lock him in one of the storage compartments. We'll deal with him later." Danny stared over the bow. Shielding his eyes from the midday sun, he could just make out the 3 boats in the distance. "You got a spare radio?" he asked. Phil passed him a headset. Grabbing it, he made off towards the bridge. "Phil, you cover the port side with the M16. Matt, can you take the handgun and cover the starboard side? Gary, you rifle through the lifeboats. See if you can find any flare guns. I'm going to see the captain," he shouted over his shoulder. Hooking in his earpiece, Danny clanged up the metal stairs to the bridge. "Radio check. You hear me, guys?"
"Yeah, copy that,"
said Matt.
"Loud and clear. We'll get Carl back on the air when he gets back above deck,"
said Phil. Danny yanked the door open and marched towards Captain Targan. "Captain, Danny Pearson, Director of Operations for Greenwood Security. I need you to put out a distress call now. We are under the attack of pirates and need urgent assistance. The plump captain popped up out of his seat, an indignant look on his face at being interrupted on his bridge. Who the hell do you think you are? Coming up here or... Shush! Go ahead, Phil, said Danny, holding a finger up to the red-faced captain, silencing him.
Here they come. We've got 15, maybe 20 minutes.
Roger that, Phil, said Danny, his face hardening and eyes boring into the captain as he turned back towards him. Now you listen to me, you stupid bastard. If you hadn't got drunk and shouted your mouth off about the cash you got in the safe, we wouldn't be in this mess. Now, get on that fucking radio and see if any naval vessels are close by. With Danny still staring at him, the captain's anger turned to embarrassment. He nodded sheepishly to the radio officer to make the call. This is why your men are here. You're telling me you can't deal with it? The hell do we pay you for, huh? Said the captain, finding a little attitude. Danny noticed all the keys on the captain's desk and bit back. If you checked the Kenyan deckhand you took on in Mombasa was actually Kenyan and not a Somali pirate, and if you didn't leave all the fucking keys lying around instead of locking them in the safe, the bloody Somali wouldn't have got into our armoury and thrown all the weapons overboard, shouted Danny as he threw the keys off the desk at the pompous captain. I didn't know. I'm sorry, Zip it, said Danny, turning to the radio operator. Anything? Yes, sir. The aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth has responded. She's changed course and has dispatched a helicopter gunship to assist. ETA 40 minutes. Thanks, son. Any change, let me know over the ship's PA system. Danny left the bridge, leaping down the metal stairs. Help's coming in 40, guys, Danny said over the headset.
Great, they'll be here in 15, and the idea is what we do for the other 25 minutes,
said Matt.